going, keep it going, keep it going. Woo!
Hey, hello, hello.
Are you gonna get married? No, not yet. Hold on.
Going for
Okay,
the
we're
tea
gonna start
right
with-
away. My
We're
Lord.
gonna start with
My
introductions.
word. We just got here. We just sat down.
I'm Deji LeRae, play the role of Greg Johnson, also the creator of the show.
I'm Thomas Q. Jones. I play the character Omar, and I'm one of the executive producers and showrunners along with Deji.
I'm Derek Brady, and I play the role of Jarvis Johnson.
I am Philip Smithy, and I play Keith Johnson, and I also give out hugs to anyone who needs them on set, which is
He said
usually...
on set. I don't know if he said on set.
No, on set.
Is it on set?
On set.
Let me start with the showrunners. So what was the genesis behind creating this show? We're in season 3 now, right?
This is actually from season 4. Yes, we are entering our 4th season, which airs starting August 3rd. So we are so fortunate to be here. You know, 4 seasons is very hard to accomplish on television, especially a show like this with this narrative. You know, a show about 4 black men living our truths, the nuances of our everyday lives, highlighting brotherhood, showing vulnerable black men. You know, you don't have anybody on this show, you know, selling drugs, and you're doing a lot of things that you see on a lot of television shows. And we wanted to represent the vast majority of black men and black relationships, you know. So, yeah, the show came about just wanting to create a balance on television, you know. Seeing a lack of representation of people like men like my father and my brothers, myself on TV. And I was fortunate enough to meet Thomas Q. Jones in 2017, and he shared the same sentiment. You know, he was very passionate about the idea, and we came together, we partnered up, and we started pitching this show pretty much at the end of 2017, so.
Wow, okay. Thomas?
Yeah, I was really excited about it when I met Deji in 2017. I had heard about this show through a mutual friend in 2014, and I didn't meet Deji until 3 years later. So when he mentioned it to me, I've been ready for 3 years for the opportunity to be a part of it. The narrative was very important. Obviously, you know, the media portrays black men in a certain light, most of the time negative. And obviously, you know, you have all walks of people that do good things and bad things, but, you know, black men typically are seen in a negative light. And this show spoke to me as a black man, and also my responsibility to represent the positive black men that are out here, the positive fathers, the brothers, the sons, the friends that protect their wives, protect their families, take care of their families. Those black men don't get enough shine. They don't get enough, enough of their stories told. And Deji is a brilliant writer. He writes from the heart. You know, we talk about a lot of these different storylines based off of our own experiences and experiences that we see to make it as relatable and real as possible. And Deji, he just literally puts the words on the page for all of us as actors. So I'm honored to be a part of this show. I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud of the black men and black women that are on this show and that work on this show. And yeah, we're just happy to be here and showcase it in front of you all today.
Yeah, thank you for bringing it. We're really happy as well to see it. So, we have... Tell us what the casting process was like.
There wasn't one.
You said there isn't one?
There wasn't a casting process.
Oh, let's hear about that.
Well, it was interesting. Deji and I, we were working on this other project, and for those that don't know, he's very like relaxed, like nonchalant about stuff. He's not gonna big up anything, and he just said to me in passing, like, hey, I wrote a script. I think there's a character in there for you. Do you want to read it? And I'm like, God, thank you for not letting me miss the moment, because I was like, absolutely. So he sent it to me, and in 3 days I read it, and I just never saw black men on a page like that. Mm-hmm. And usually I've been working for a while, and usually if a black man is successful, he's either really nerdy and goofy, or he's like not articulate and not smart. But this was the first time that I saw a black man on the page where he had all that. He was swaggy, his brothers were his brothers, And so I just told him I would be honored to be a part of it, and that's how I got the role.
Yeah, that's an interesting casting process, right?
And so Deji came to me and said, I've written this character who is quirky and awkward and not good with women and a photographer. And I said, who do you have in mind? And he said, I'm thinking about you. And I'm like, oh, really? But then it was just such an incredible fit. Who'da thunk it? And the process was incredible. When we got to shoot for the first time in 2017, when these guys crafted and executed this pilot on their own steam and brought us on board, and I knew instantly the chemistry that we all had, the solidarity we felt as a group, and I just knew that it really felt like finding your tribe working with these guys, and the fact that we're all very different seemed to be so complementary instead of against. Like we worked very well together. So it was a great experience.
So there was a casting process. I'm so sorry. And I think this is very important because both of these guys have been auditioning for me for a number of years and they didn't even know it, right? We worked on projects together. I was able to see their talent, get a chance to get to know them in front of the camera, but also behind the camera, because that's very important as well. It's not just about what you bring in front of the camera, it's about being pleasant to work with, you know, when you show up to set. And so I was watching them and gave them both the script, and there was other people who I had in mind for other roles who might not have gotten back to me in time, didn't read the script, because, you know, there's a lot of projects in Hollywood that just never take off, you know, and I wasn't really paying these guys for the project at that time that we were going to produce, the independent pilot that Thomas and I produced. They might have made $100, you know, for the day.
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't get paid?
Nah.
No.
Nah, we got hugs.
Okay.
Yeah, we got hugs and
You
eat.
said you got lunch?
Got food.
I stand corrected. But the point is, everything is not always about money. You know, and I know that, you know, that's kind of the world we live in right now. You know, rent is high, gas is high, food is high. But sometimes there's more value in relationships, you know, and because of our relationship, they got the role, and we've been able to shoot 4 seasons of this show, and they're truly my brothers in real life. So
I'm so glad you cleared that up, because I thought you were just running around saying to people, hey, I got a role for you, hey, I got a role for you. But there is a process. I like that.
And if I could just say real quick, one last thing too. These two brothers did something that's amazing that you don't hear in Hollywood. When they were first shopping the show, they had opportunities, you know, because sometimes networks and different studios want to plug people in that they already have with development deals with. They were like, they refused to change the 4 of us. And that just does not happen. So, love them for life for that.
Kudos for that.
Absolutely. Shout out.
So you can feel in the show that you all are like brothers in real life, right? Is that the way it is in real life? Are you like brothers? Y'all hang out when you're not shooting and stuff like that?
Yeah, the chemistry was immediate. You know, I felt it. You know, for me personally, you know, I played football for a long time, and I've been used to a locker room environment where you have teammates and brothers, and you get really close and build relationships. So when I retired, I didn't have that anymore. And the first time I felt that type of camaraderie was when I actually met Philip, Derek's, and Deji, and the 4 of us went and grabbed dinner one night. And although all 4 of us were very different people, I guess the common theme was we're just very kind and genuine men, and vulnerable men in real life. And I think that's kind of the connective tissue, that we were all vulnerable, and we also understood the opportunity and how special it was. And you know, we live in different parts of the country, you know, but you know, we have a group text where, you know, there's random conversations going on in there, and memes and you know, stuff going on.
Ongoing debates and arguments about some nothing.
But when we see each other, it's like the last time we saw each other. So we definitely are brothers and love each other in real life.
Oh, that's amazing. I love to hear that. I was saying to you as I was watching it that you all are dressed so well in the show. You all dress well right now, right? You look really good.
Thank you.
Who's your stylist for the show?
Ooh.
The stylist for the show is Joni Marie Ross.
Okay.
And she is absolutely incredible. She was able to take the look of the show, the way that we dress, our different personalities, incorporate, that into what we wore. And she really made the styling on the show a character, right? And we get so many compliments, so many people on social media who are always asking that same question. So shout out to Joni Marie Ross for creating 4 seasons of well-dressed men.
And teaching us how to dress.
How to dress.
Oh, okay. So you take a little bit of what she showed.
I was just I was dressing like Thomas, just t-shirt and jeans before. Sorry, am I putting you out?
No. And then now you're dressing like Ryan Gosling.
That's damn straight.
There's duality
damn
in
straight.
everything. There's duality in everything.
That's right. Yeah. No, it's been wonderful. The whole process, you learn so much about not only that you learn about yourself, and I didn't even think about that element of developing a character, like, the shoes that you walk in and when you're portraying a character, really does so much to inform like who you are. So that's one element that I've just really enjoyed, is getting to walk in Keith's shoes and wear his clothes and really feel myself more in his presence.
And he means that literally, because I think Philip probably stole the most amount of clothes from set. Yes. And then Derek's was next.
I will say this, as the only woman on the stage and speaking for the women in the audience, say thank you to Joni for us, please, because you all look really well.
Yes.
Shout out to Joni.
Shout out to Joni.
Yes. So you did shoot in the Bahamas. Talk a little bit about shooting internationally.
Yeah, so I had the idea. So basically, the first 3 seasons of Johnson were all set in Atlanta. And, I felt like we were just kind of getting comfortable, comfortable with the storytelling. And I didn't want to be comfortable. I wanted to shake things up. I think, artists do their best work when things are new and fresh. So I wanted to create, another challenge on the show. And I called Thomas, ran the idea by him about shooting in the Bahamas, hoping and expecting for him to say that this is an absolutely impossible and a horrible idea. And he said the exact opposite. He said, let's do it. And, I knew with Thomas having my back, on the producing side, that we can make this happen. So we started to present it to the network, and it's always a challenge. People are always concerned about the logistics and the money and everything like that. But I think it was needed for the show for season 4, to have a variety, have a change. And then we met some really great people, in the Bahamas who were very instrumental in bringing this to life and making this possible. And some of those people are here today. We have Risha Archibald, who is executive producer.
Hey,
Risha.
Stand up,
Take a
Risha.
bow, Risha.
Risha.
Yes.
That's right.
Risha is incredible. She's been an EP since the beginning. Very instrumental with connecting us with Cedric the Entertainer and Eric C. Rohn, who are also executive producers on the show. We have the director of this episode, Lovato Stubbs. He directed this episode.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And we also have the head of film, the Ministry of Tourism is Mr. Clarence Roll. He's here as well.
Hey, Clarence.
So once we connected to Clarence and Lovato, we were having 2 different conversations. One was a creative conversation with Lovato, and he impressed us. I was gonna direct these episodes, because I'm a director as well. And Thomas and I had a conversation. It's like, we have to make this as authentic as possible. We got to make sure that, number one, we respect the culture, the terminology is accurate, the food is accurate, just everything about these episodes are authentic, because we don't want no smoke with nobody from the Bahamas, right? So we offered Lovato the directing position. He's a director in his own right and a producer, and he directed both episodes in the Bahamas. And Mr. Roll, Clarence, was very instrumental in all the logistics and the creative, suggesting locations, connecting us to Atlanta, the Atlantis resort, helping us through customs and immigration and all of that. All of these things that people don't think about that goes into something like this, when an entire cast and crew travels to the Bahamas, is very expensive, it's very time consuming, and that's the man right there who kind of spearheaded all of that. So, yeah.
Well, let's give him a hand for that. So I just want to open up to questions, but before if you don't mind, will we take audience Q&A? Would you?
Oh, yeah, of
Okay,
course,
great.
yeah.
Before that, I just want to know, will you consider doing more of that international production for the Johnsons?
I definitely think so. It was a great experience. The Bahamas, obviously one of the most beautiful places in the world, and they're known for, you know, the water and, you know, just the skyline, everything there, and obviously Atlantis, but just the island of the Bahamas, the people, the culture. One of the most interesting things for me was working with the actual Bahamian crew, getting to know the crew and how similar we are. And although they're in the Bahamas and we're in the States, how much we have in common. I became really good friends with one of the crew members named Julian, and he reminded me of my best friend from home in Virginia. And we talked every day about production, but we just talk about real life stuff. You know, we were there for 2 weeks and it flew by because, you know, it felt like I was with my family. You know, they're just in another part of the world. Now, Lovato, very interesting director, very smart, great shots, very cool, calm, and collected. When we shoot in Atlanta, we're hustling through our day. I'm like, man, that's too many shots, man. We're not gonna make the day. We can't go overtime the budget, you know. And Lovato was moving like, you know, he was on vacation. But I'm like, hold on a second. There is a world where you can operate like Lovato and still get dope content. So I learned a lot just from watching him and producing this with him, and also being an actor, you know, under him as a director. So, yeah, anytime you can take a show like this with this narrative and you can, you know, take it to another country and make it international and get other men's perspectives and other women's perspectives, it's always a blessing and it's always a great experience. So most definitely we would think about taking it to another country, for sure.
Yeah, we're going to try. Johnson Tokyo Drift is a concept I've been ideating.
Okay.
Which I think, you know, we'll have an offline conversation
You'll circle back on
about.
that? Okay. And we're gonna open up for questions, but in the meantime, I want you all to shout out your socials so everyone here can follow you and follow the show.
Deji LeRae across all social platforms.
Yes, Thomas Q. Jones, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Derek Brady across all social platforms.
Philip Smithy, Philip with one L, you're welcome, across all platforms.
Okay, let's open up for questions. Any questions? Right here, stand up though. Thank you.
Sorry, but by introduction, my name is Nerly Lozier. I was walking through the Essence Festival, came on this floor, and I think now I know she was one of the folks that work with you guys. She told me to check out this show, and she was standing with some other ladies, so I walked in and got a seat up here. Never heard of it, but I appreciate what you guys are doing. As a black man, I don't see a lot of this stuff on media at all, so I'll check it out. I think she said it was on Hulu. So congrats on that. Season 4, dope stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you
brother.
so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Wow, thank you. That's my sister, y'all, by the way. Thanks for coming. So I started acting, you know, in Atlanta when I was 9 years old, just doing plays at school. And then I started going to New York at 13, and I was on Broadway in New York and doing television shows there. And then I made the move to Los Angeles when I was 17 with nobody in Los Angeles, just chasing a dream. And I've been in Los Angeles ever since. And, you know, my mom said, if you're gonna move to LA at 17, then you have to enroll in school. You gotta be in college. So I went to film school. And I think that's where I really sharpened my skills. That's where I really learned how to edit, write, produce, and I think it's all encompassing. You know, I've been editing for 20 years as well. I've cut a lot of music videos, some feature films, and I think it all helps. Being an editor also helps writing. Being a writer also helps directing, also helps acting, right? If you're an actor or if you're a director, and you want to really communicate with actors and you need to know a little bit about acting, I suggest you take acting classes, right? It's all one sport. So, you know, I was just fortunate enough to do all of these things, acting, editing, writing, and producing all successfully. But I do remember a time, you know, where my manager and agent would tell me, don't tell everybody what you do. Don't tell everybody that you're a writer. Don't tell everybody that you're an editor. You're an actor and that's it, or you're a director and that's it, whatever position you're going out for. Because, you know, the concern at that time was people wouldn't take you seriously, you know, if you're trying to direct, but you're also a writer, you know, so focus on one thing. And now I think times have changed and you're considered lazy if you're not doing multiple things now, because the climate has changed and it's necessary, especially if you have projects that you want to star in. Write them, you know, write them and get them off the ground and produce them. That's the only way. I wrote this project and I put myself as one of the lead roles, so there you go.
Boom.
More questions? Oh, I see a question right here. You want to stand up, please?
Not really, but can I just get a mic? Thank you. Hi, everyone. Hi, Lamonia.
Hi.
Jaleesa, I had a question because I see a lot of married fingers, which is beautiful because I'd imagine that you all are pulling from your personal experiences and some of what you depict in your characters. It's a nuanced question, but I guess in a climate where there's such a focus on relationships between Black men and Black women and a lot of negative stereotypes that I think are reinforced on both ends, how do you pull from your personal experiences and address those things while still protecting the integrity of your personal relationships?
I love that question.
That's a great question.
Sorry, I said it
Great
was nuanced.
question.
It's a great question.
No,
was
I
ready.
think
Yeah.
I think the creative of this show is real life, right? The goal for the show is for people, Black men, Black women, to watch this and see themselves in their most vulnerable positions, in their most proud positions, in their lowest positions, in their highest positions, just multifaceted, different spaces that we are as Black people, as human. And, you know, definitely as actors, for sure, and I know Deji, we talk all the time about some of these storylines, and they do come from some version of a realistic situation that we've either seen or a situation that we've been through. But as actors, yeah, definitely, you pull from your personal experiences because Black men and Black women, we interact every day. Whether, you know, you have an issue with a Black woman, you have an issue with a Black man, you still got to interact. So we may as well figure out how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? The issues are going to be there, but, you know, the solutions are there too. You just have to focus on the solutions. And that's what I love about this show is that we highlight the issue, but we also have a solution. And we make everybody accountable. That's the thing. The men make each other accountable. The men make the women accountable, and the women make the men accountable. This show is about accountability, and I think that's what relates to a lot of people. Certain people see themselves in the most vulnerable spaces in some of these scenes. I know I've had to pull from personal situations, and I'm like, damn, DG, like, why are you making me think about that? You know what I mean? But that's why, you know, the acting on this show is to me, is top tier because everyone is being real and being honest, and they have somewhere that they can pull, you know, those emotions from. So very relatable show. We talk about a lot of Black men and Black women's relationships and the nuanced specifics of them because there's a lot of things there and a lot of trauma there on both sides. But we just focus on finding the solution, and hopefully the viewers, as they walk away, they find something that they can take that can help maybe them in their personal relationship with a Black man or Black woman.
And I'll say I've really enjoyed the experience on the show, getting to portray someone in a developing relationship. And I've also had the incredible experience of having my wife be present on set while we're shooting certain scenes. And so, you know, when we're doing that love-making scene,
What kind of scenes?
and I'm like, how was that? You know, did I get, you know, could I have gone? But, you know, it's been actually really fun, honestly. And that's not something that every actor does or necessarily like to get into the character,
Of course.
pertaining everything that Thomas is talking about. But it's also been a really wonderful and enlightening experience to experience what this character is going through and to have these conversations at home and be like, you know, how did that feel? How did that reflect here? So the show has a lot to teach and a lot to show for the audience as well as us participating.
And one last thing, real quick. I do know that, it's apparent that there is, if you log on to social media, there's a bloodbath between black men and black women. A lot of finger pointing, a lot of conflict. But in real life, because I don't consider social media real life, people say, certain things on social media because, the crowd is saying it, they want to fit in, and they just jump in on certain topics. But in real life, we all need each other. Black men need black women. Black women need black men. And, this is what real life is. When we walk out of this room and we have conversations with black women, you feel the love. I don't see what I see on social media in real life on a daily basis. So to me, that doesn't exist as much as people try to portray for it to be. You know what I mean? So I put more on what I experience on a regular basis and what I see on a regular basis when it comes to the black men in my life, my friends, my brothers, everybody, and the black women in my life. I see that black love is alive and black love is real. That's what I see.
And I gotta say, black love is real. My wife and I have been married for over 25 years, and she is black.
Wow.
And so, yeah, real life does keep on.
Well, congratulations, and I'm sure we want to spend as much time with you all as possible, but where can we spend some time with the Johnsons on screen? Tell us where to find you. Tell everybody where to find you.
Yes, the first 3 seasons of Johnson is streaming on Hulu right now. You can check it out on Hulu. And season 4 comes out August 3rd.
That's right.
Saturday, airs on Saturdays at 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Okay.
8/7 Central on Bounce TV. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Everybody, please give a warm round of applause. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you guys for coming.
For bringing the show.
Great to see everybody.
Love seeing y'all.
All right. We're going to take some photos. Thank you.